Hello again everyone, this is Hounds of Howgate, myself and my dog Moss, and welcome to our video series on hiking with dogs. If you look in the playlist that this video is part of, there's already quite a few videos on there, general introductions, gear, food, pack weight, general thoughts and a Q&A session. One of our followers, Yanni, has asked us a good few questions that I answered in the question and answer section, and she watched that and had a few more. Just, you know, as and when you watch these things, more things come to mind. So she's one of the things that we didn't cover in the Q&A session, but I sort of go over in Moss's gear review, is the use of like a full ladder strap. And what I use that for is for river crossings. In Scotland, especially in the Cape Wrath Trail that we just finished, 240 long distance mile hike through Scotland from Fort William to the northwest. It's through wild country, there are no paths for most of the time, and you're having to ford rivers quite deep at times, especially if there's been a lot of rainfall. So of course, because I take a dog with me, I have to somehow get the dog across that river. I looked at a couple of ways of doing that, but the best way I found was to secure the dog at the side of the river, go across myself first, using good river crossing principles. So, waist strap, chest strap, maybe consider unbuckling it, loosen things off a bit so if you do topple you can shed your pack easily. Go in gingerly, below the knee everything's fine if it's not too fast flowing. Between knee and upper thigh, watch what you're doing, especially if it's fast flowing. Above the waist, think again, consider what you're doing. Maybe you might need to go and look for somewhere else, or actually link up with some people. Doing a solo river crossing that's more than waist deep is probably a really bad idea, especially in fast flowing water. Once it goes above here and it starts hitting your torso, that causes different issues. If it's slow moving water, it's up to you, but it's your call. And if you're doing river crossings, you should know the principles. Walking poles, facing upstream, crab walking, taking it nice and slow. Wear some on your feet so you don't get damaged, blah, blah, blah. So how do we actually cross through the river with the dog though? Moss is fine. She knows if I ask her to wait, she's really good. And maybe an idea, you may want to tether your dog to something in case they try and follow you and enter the water and end up in trouble. So secure your dog, go across using good river crossing principles, lay your pack down, go back across. I know it's a lot more river crossings and thus increase the risk, but there's not much other way you can do it, and I'll get onto why that is in a wee minute. Go back, get the dog, and I'll show you how I attach the ladder strap to Moss and how I carry her. Now, all I do is I take the ladder strap and I pass it, come up, and I basically pass it. This is a rough wear approach pack, and it's got a good chest strap that goes up either side. It's got straps that come under our armpits and one at our midriff, and it's got a cooling chest plate which helps distribute the load. It's got a grab handle on here, so it's designed for actually carrying them. So essentially because I need my hands for river crossings, I wanted to replicate that but up high out the water. So I just got a ladder strap and I pass it down the length of the pack. Because it's got this hole in here, I can reach through and grab it. So I just pass it through like that. And then once it's through, I thread it. And normally I'd look for a little lump of grass or something, and I would have her go up on that so I can sit on it and she's at the same height rather than so this stooping down. Then what I do is I would go down and I'd pass this, put my arm through, just like this, and stand up with her. So that's her hanging. Now you can adjust the height as you see fit, maybe depending on the depth of the river or how comfortable it is on you. If I was wearing a rucksack, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing next. And I found that if she's hanging from the side and you're crossing, it's hitting off your thighs. If you're in water, you can't move as easily. So what I tend to do is to tuck her round to the back. So she's actually hanging off my back, so my legs are now free to move around. And it's just because she's in the middle rather than the side, it's a lot more stable. If I had a backpack on my rucksack, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I just attach her like that, and then I just go about my river crossing like normal. And that's it. Once I get to the other side, bring her around, set her down. Coil this back up, pop it back in her rucksack, and that's it. Away we go. Eh? Ha ha ha. So yeah, that's good. She actually, I think you quite like it. Do you like river crossings? Eh? Do you like river crossings? So there you have it. That's the best way I've found to actually do river crossings with the dog. If you had just a harness, that pack is a harness, but with, you know, built-in side part. If you look at Roughwear harnesses, just that aren't actual packs, it's the exact same setup, the exact same design. They've obviously found it to work well for load distribution. I've had cheap packs, well, a cheap pack, and it cut Moss's armpits to bits, and the pack just didn't sit as well. So I really do recommend looking at packs like that. In the UK, there's only so many manufacturers. I think you've got a bigger selection elsewhere. But certainly I've found, and I think Roughwear, I think that's a US brand. But yeah, really, it's really worked well. So for her actually just load carrying all her stuff, the grab handle for carrying her over cow grates, carrying over stiles, fences, and then of course I can just thread the strap through and essentially have it the same idea, but just I can go hands free, and that's basically it.
Ain't one over here. Right, wait now. Good girl.